Hey guys, welcome back to Cody Tarot. I'm your tarot reader, Cody. This is a pick a card totally on when and where you will meet your future spouse. I'm really excited to get into today's reading. I actually have already filmed the piles, so I know a little bit about what's to come and you guys don't. I mean, you're going to know once you pick your pile and stuff like that because that's what this video is for. But anyway, so we have 6 groups in front of us. When and where you'll meet your future spouse. We're also going to be talking about the circumstances around your meeting and stuff like that. Maybe go into a little bit about the connection and why you're meeting the way you are, stuff like that. With that said, these readings were very interesting. There's a lot of different types of relationships in here. In some of them, there weren't necessarily a marriage for some people. There was like a long-term soulmate companionship. So you'll know if you get that group. But without further ado, let me show you all the crystals one by one. Then you can go to the description box and select the crystal/group that you picked and go to the timestamp, and yeah, then you get your reading. So let's start with showing off the crystals. So for group 1, we have the Citrine. That's group 1. Group 2, we have the Iolite. That's group 2. Group 3, we have the Lepidolite. That's group 3. Group 4, we have the Smokey Quartz. That's group 4. Group 5, we have the green Jade. It's group 5. And last, group 6, we have the rose quartz. So that's group 6. Remember, pause the video here if you need more time to select your crystal. And with that said, without further ado, we're going to move into the reading, starting with group 1, the Citrine. Hey, group 1, this if you picked the Citrine. So let's get right into your reading, all about when and where you will meet your future spouse. In today's reading, I'm going to be pulling a timing card for when. I'm going to be pulling a location card for where. I'm also going to be pulling some tarot cards to get more of the situation and give you a more fleshed out reading. So let's start with timing. Let's start with when group 1 will be meeting. Sorry, I said future spouse. I meant to say love interest. You know what? I'm going to make this a future spouse reading. I feel like instinctively I want to call it that. So I'm going to change the intro and make this a future spouse reading. You guys get to witness my little bout of indecision. Anyway, so when and where will you meet your future spouse? What timing will group 1 meet their future spouse? What time card do we need for group 1 to meet their future spouse? When will group 1 meet their future spouse? Okay, this one didn't want to go in and it shuffled onto the top. So we have December. Okay, so December seems to be your lucky month. As far as meeting your future spouse, let's see, where. Now, this does not have to be where will you meet your future spouse? We have arena. And this does not have to be this December. It can just be a December. Take that if it resonates, because I feel like for some of you, if you're like, some of you are really close to meeting your future spouse, and that would be this upcoming December. But for others of you, it's just that you'll probably meet them in the month of December. Okay, and let's get some tarot cards. And we will see what comes up for you guys as far as what's happening in the tarot. We have the Queen of Cups. Let's see what else needs to come up for you guys. The 10 of Wands. Let's see what else needs to come up. Because the cards were pretty chaotic, I'm feeling you guys you think a lot about this, or when you're going to meet your future spouse, or it's just weighing on your mind. You've been thinking about it lately. I think also this December, you'll get some clarity on that. Like, yeah, I'm seeing that over here, actually. Okay, let's get into your reading. Okay, great reading. Okay, let's read what's coming up. Okay, so I definitely see you guys meeting your future spouse. First, we have arena here. So the location where you meet your future spouse, it says competitive environment, sporting events, or performance stage. There's a few things here. For a lot of you with competitive environment, I'm definitely seeing you meeting your future spouse. It could be literally on a sports team playing a sport on like in an arena, or you could be watching a sports game. You could be at a baseball game, you could be at a football game, something like that. You could be watching sports when you meet this person. Don't worry if you're not like a sports person. We also have performance stage, so I'm also thinking of concerts, events with musicians. I'm specifically seeing concert because this 10 of Wands is my Taylor Swift card because she low-key, like her face reminds me of Taylor Swift. Maybe you guys don't agree with me on this, but like I see her like, let me see if I can get closer. See if it'll, there we go. Yeah, her face to me looks like Taylor Swift's face a little bit. Anyway, so that's my Taylor Swift card in this deck. Let's try to focus. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I think that you could meet your future spouse at a concert, like a music festival, some kind of concert or sporting event. There's some kind of big arena when you meet your person. There's some kind of big stadium or arena or area where you can meet this person. I am seeing that this is probably some event that you'll be attending in December, right? Or a winter event or some kind of concert that you decide to go to in the month of December. Let's get into like all the other aspects of like when you meet this person, and specifically like triple confirmation. If you guys are planning to see Taylor Swift in December, that could be a strong confirmation that you're going to meet your future spouse then. But yeah, let's get into some of the dynamics of what's going to happen when you meet your future spouse. Well, first of all, we have the Four of Swords. I think initially you're gonna like bump into this person at the concert or something like that, or the sporting event or the sports team or whatever. And there's a feeling of feeling relaxed. I think that whatever this event is, you're feeling tired or you're feeling drained or you're feeling like the event is taking a lot out of you is kind of what I'm seeing. So for some of you, it could even be that you went to a sports game reluctantly, or like maybe your brother or like a relative invited you to a sports game and you're like, I really don't want to go, but you decide to go. Maybe your intuition's telling you to go, something like that. So when you're at the sports event, I'm definitely seeing there's this vibe of like not feeling totally comfortable or just being tired, especially if it's like a performance and you're like dancing the night away and it's like a concert. I definitely see you guys being really like tired or getting tired right before you meet your spouse, because I definitely think one of the first things you're going to notice about this person is just talking to them. I'm also seeing that there's not so much, it doesn't seem like a strong like physical attraction right off the bat. We do have the Wands energy here, but it just feels in general like the vibe that I'm getting, I mean, it's very balanced energy in general, right? So I think there's going to be a very wholesome, whole aspect quality to this person, because we have cups, swords, wands, cups, pentacles, swords. Like there's a pretty even distribution of suits. So I think there's going to be a strong feeling of balance when you meet them. With Four of Swords, the first thing I'm seeing is there's a feeling of rest. There's a feeling of recovery. So I feel like when you're at the concert, maybe your legs are tired, maybe from walking around or dancing or something like that. As soon as you bump into this person, you'll start to feel like your legs recover. And you'll start to feel like you can actually dance more. There's a feeling of like relaxing into this person and recovering in the moment. I think also what's interesting about this situation, I think even though you're at a very public event, it's a super fun event, it's a super exciting event. People are cheering, people are dancing. There's a feeling of people really into the event. I think that right off the bat with 8 and 7 over here, with the 8 of Swords and the 7 of Cups, you're going to get into some pretty psychological conversations with your future spouse. So I think that there's going to be an immediate opening up of like problems and issues. I think as you guys are getting to know each other within the first few seconds, it's like, hey, my name's Jade. Hey, my name's Joe. And then it's like, well, what do you do for a living? And then one person might say, like, maybe they're having an issue in their life with their job or something like that. And then that person replies, like, well, I'm doing this, but I don't really want to. The other person might ask another question that gets that other person to really open up about their issues with their job and what's going on with them and how they want to be in a different environment, something like that. There's something about discussing psychological issues, plans for the future, options. I think, right off the bat, you guys will be discussing these kind of deeper topics, even though you're in a more superficial area. And I think that's surprising for both of you. And I think it's actually also really enjoyable for both of you. It might even be that during this event, you guys stop paying attention to the event itself and start really focusing on each other. Even though this event is something that maybe one of you really likes or both of you really like, something like that. There's a feeling of just really connecting with this person. And it's like, no matter how glamorous Taylor Swift is or the performance on stage or how enthralled you guys are by this performance, there's a feeling of strong energy, synergy between both of you. I don't think either of you is going to be like, oh, stop talking to me, I want to watch the show. I really don't think that. I think there's a feeling of like comfort in this situation. That's why for a lot of you, I feel like you're at some kind of event that you were a little reluctant to go to. It's like you wanted to go or you didn't go, or maybe you saw this reading and you're like, oh, this event's in December, so maybe I should go to meet my future spouse, something like that. But yeah, I definitely see you guys meeting this person at an event in December. With King of Pentacles and Queen of Cups, there's a very strong energy here of the masculine energy being very practical, wealthy, rich in abundance. They probably have a good job. The feminine energy is very intuitive. How do I put this? Problem solving. Like, I definitely think if you're discussing these issues, it might be the masculine person that has the issues and the feminine energy that's like discussing the problem solving to get out of the issues. I think this Queen of Cups energy is kind of giving me vibes of like someone who maybe is like a therapist, but more of like a hands-on therapist where they actually help and walk through people with solving their issues. I'm getting like life coach vibes. If a lot of you watching this, because I know more women than men watch my channel, I can tell by the statistics on YouTube. But anyway, so I'm just seeing like for a lot of you that are the female watching my channel, I think you're going to be helping this partner through some issues initially, like even at the event or something like that. I think there's an immediate sensing and connection of both of you, right? And I think you both really want to get down to business. Like you want to get down to like helping each other actualize each other's dreams is kind of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that this King of Pentacles person has so much potential. They're a strong leader. They're someone who can manage people effectively. They're also really wealthy. I think that this person might even have wealth outside of their job, like an inheritance or something like that, possibly. I'm just getting strong. The air just turned on for that too. So I'm getting a strong vibe of like, that's probably the case, that they have like, sorry, when my air conditioner turns on or goes off, I take that as a sign or confirmation. So I really think that this person probably has some kind of inheritance. I think they're just wealthy in general. They have some kind of money outside of, their career, I think. Also, if you guys are, if you're looking for a same-sex partner, this also applies for same-sex relationships. It's just one person's going to take on more of the providing role in the connection. One person's going to take on more of the nurturing, analyzing, and problem-solving role in the connection. So take what resonates. Obviously, if you're looking for a partner of the same sex, this kind of king and queen energy can still apply to you. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be divided in that way, if that makes sense. Like, it could even be for some of you in same-sex situations, you're the one, if you're a female watching my channel, you're the one that's the provider and the really well-off person, and your partner's the problem solver. Or even if you're resonating with the king energy more in this reading, that you are the one that has the money and the career, and you need someone to help you solve certain problems in life, or you need that intuitive guidance from others. I'm saying that's also the case here. It's that you're just the feminine in the connection that has a more masculine energy, and your partner might have a more feminine. There might be a male with a more feminine energy, something like that. 10 of Wands is giving me strong vibes of like unloading the burdens, right? Like this woman's carrying all the sticks and it's like unloading the burdens. I'm also seeing like there could be some divine event where whoever the figure is that you're going to see, whoever the performer, the concert person that you're going to see, I see this person playing a pivotal role in future events in your life. So for example, say you guys are going out to watch The Weeknd or something. The Weeknd, the music artist. Maybe like because you saw them once and this is like where you guys met and stuff like that, you go and see them again, something like that. Because I am seeing that this event, whether it's a sporting event or a concert, there is a strong vibe. The ambient atmosphere, the noise of the event is one of those things that is like comforting for you guys, and it's what helped initiate the connection between you. It's like you needed the cheering crowds in the background to like help facilitate your communication. This is especially true if you guys watching are clairaudient. I definitely think that in your conversation with your spouse on first meeting, it's going to feel like the crowd is cheering on your relationship, right? They're going to be watching the game, right? They're watching the sporting game, obviously, right? But the universe works in these mysterious ways where I think that when you're communicating with your spouse, right, there's a strong vibe of like the how do I put this? The audience, like when you're saying something to your future spouse and it's maybe something that they really needed to hear, there's going to be cheers in the audience. It's going to be a confirmation that you said the right thing. It's going to be confirmation for your spouse that they're receiving the right information, stuff like that. So there's kind of feelings like that. You might even get, if you're at a sports event, you get boos in the crowd or something like that. It might be a moment that's like really hilarious or funny to you or your spouse, or you might be saying something ironic at that moment that your spouse finds funny. And when the boos happen, you guys laugh about how the crowd is like kind of playing a part in your conversation or your connection. I even think if you are watching a music or a concert, it's like this music is like the perfect backdrop to have these kinds of intimate conversations, and it facilitates the mood is kind of what I'm seeing. So whether it's a sport event or a concert, it's facilitating the mood of the connection. And so I honestly think that if you're meeting your future spouse and it's like a sporting event, it might be a more like maybe intellectual battle of the wits first meeting with your spouse. Like as far as like problem solving and stuff. If it's more of a concert, for example, if you were at a Taylor Swift concert, right, that can be pretty romantic, right? Or for example, maybe it inspires you guys to talk about your past lovers and the issues and the victim stuff that they're dealing with and the possibilities for the future, is talking about how you want romantic relationships to unfold, how they've unfolded for you in the past, something like that. There's something about the music governing your guys' exchange. I'm trying to see if I see anything else. I definitely think after this connection with the Seven of Cups here, you guys will be making plans for the future. You'll be making plans to see each other again. You'll be like, man, we should really hang out. Like, we should make this a thing. Like, we should do this again. Like, I know I just met you at this concert, but like, where do you live? It might be one of those things where you find out that they live kind of close to you, something like that, or they live actually not too far away from you or something like that. Like, I know concerts and arenas and sporting events and stuff, people come from all over to see these things, but you might find that they live like pretty close to you, something like that. Or if you're trying to make arrangements to meet them, it's like really easy, something like that. The one thing you're going to know about this person is when they show up or they're sitting next to you at the concert or you're bumping into them. Say this is an arena where you're moving around, like maybe it's the ground floor and you bump into them, something like that. Say, for example, if it's like a rave and you're moving around at the rave and meeting people and stuff, it could be something where the Four of Swords, you run into this person and all of a sudden you feel like relaxing, you feel like chilling, you feel like your body's recovering. There's a feeling of like in the moment recovering from whatever pains or aches or ailing you in this kind of situation. Could even be to a nurturing component, like maybe one of you's hungry and the other one buys the other one a hot dog or something like that. You know, something simple. Yeah, some kind of event in December. The timing is pretty literal on this one. There's not much interpretation I can do for it. It's just saying that most likely you're going to meet this person in December, or December is a key part for your guys' connection. Yeah, I'm going to end your guys' reading there. I'm not really seeing too much more information. Thank you for letting me read for you. It was an honor. It was a pleasure. Thank you for letting me explore my new decks that I got for my birthday. And I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you really like the reading, please subscribe to the channel. And even if you don't feel like subscribing, if you just like the reading in general, please like or comment below. It means a lot to me. I like to read your guys' comments. It's really brightens my day. So yeah, with that said, I'm going to move on to the next group with the Iolite. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey group 2, this is if you picked the Iolite, so let's get into your reading. Okay, all about when will you meet and where will you meet your future spouse. So first let's get the timing card. We'll get the when out of the way. So when will group 2 meet their future spouse? Wow, it's not worth waiting for is the card. Let's see. That's the air just turned off, so it's confirmation. I'm gonna see if I can pull one more timing card just to see. Pull one from the top. We also have next month. Okay. So let's get a place location. So where will this person meet their future spouse? Where will group 2 meet their future spouse? This one's coming out. We have the beach. And let's get some tarot cards. And we will see what is coming up for you guys. Right? Okay. We have the Hierophant, we have the Four of Cups. I'm seeing some themes here for you guys. Let's see, we have these two cards want to come out. We have the Star and the Knight of Wands. I'm feeling a pep talk coming on for you guys, just so you know. Let's get one more card here. I feel like we don't need all 6 tarot cards. I feel like we just need 5. Oh, we got 6. Okay. So we have these two. And let's see what we have here. We have the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. Okay. Okay. Okay, so first of all, I want to talk to you guys about the reading topic and the fact that you guys are getting a different type of reading than the reading topic. Normally, you're meant to know what the reading topic is, but in this particular case, it's not worth waiting for. Is changing the direction of this reading, and it's actually leading you. The reading I'm about to give you is going to help you lead you to your future spouse. But I'm almost seeing the vibe that I'm getting for you guys is you're waiting for that specific person that's like your true love, the ultimate one, the one that you're going to marry for life. Like, I think you guys are waiting for that specific person, or you're waiting for that relationship, right? When really what you need, it's interesting. Really what I'm seeing is what you need is to just get back out there and start dating, and like not worry if the person's the one or not, and just explore. Like the vibe that I'm getting a little bit is like to break, you have to, in order to make an omelet, you have to break a few eggs, something like that. There's some kind of expression coming through like that, where it's like, you really need to just, with Knight of Wands here, there's a few messages coming through. For some of you, it's not worth waiting for, being right above the Knight of Wands. It's talking about that you might be dealing with a person right now who's in your life for a short time, not a long time. And the vibe that I'm getting is it's not worth waiting for them to commit, right? Maybe you guys are coming to this reading because you're like sort of engaged to someone, or maybe you're coming to this reading because you're already seeing someone and you're doubting, like, I don't know if this is going to be my person, something like that. So this is just saying it's not worth waiting for this person. This person is a short time, not a long time, the one that you're thinking about right now. That's kind of the vibe that I'm seeing. I'm also seeing for you guys too, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm seeing you guys need to get out there, right? This next month is coming through a little bit like, if you wanted to, you could have a new relationship by next month, right? That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. You guys could have a new relationship by next month. I'm seeing right now the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords being the two key components, which I'm kind of seeing you guys as this Queen of Swords energy. You could also be the King of Swords energy, but I'm seeing you as one of these energies, and I'm seeing your future spouse is this opposite energy, right? So the reading is going to talk about your future spouse. I'm going to bring that up in this reading. But as far as the timing goes, the first card that came out is it's not worth waiting for. Talking about, I would not waste your life waiting for your future spouse. It's almost like it's going to come in further down the line than you expect. And the universe is pretty much saying, like, you need to have fun. Like, you need to have fun right now, and you need to not expect things from the people you're having fun with, right? I know this is kind of a harsh message for some of you. I know some of my viewers really just want that like undying true love. They want their future spouse. That's all they want, you know, but I am seeing right now, it's important for you guys to learn about relationships. I'm also seeing this with the Four of Cups here. I'm seeing you guys turning down offers of love all the time because it's not perfect or it's not what you think your spouse would be, something like that. And that's what I'm seeing is kind of like one of the issues here is that you should be accepting offers of love. You should be having these flings, these romantic flings. You should be going on dates. You don't have to, you know, have sex with every single person that you encounter, right? You could, but I am saying getting romantic, feeling emotions, feeling connected to people, is really important for you guys at this time. It might be too early for you to be thinking about your future spouse with it's not worth waiting for, you know? It's not worth, the cards are basically just saying it's not worth waiting your entire life for this future spouse to come in. For a lot of you, you're learning this lesson right now. You're kind of on the precipice of understanding this. That's why this is coming up in this reading. You're on the precipice of being like, you know what? Like, I keep looking at these future spouse readings. I keep waiting to see when my future spouse is coming in, and it's causing me to just wait and anticipate even more. I'm seeing you guys are going to drop that anticipation pretty soon, especially next month. There's a feeling of dropping that anticipation. And I think you're going to have a lot of successful relationships, right? You also might not be the type of people who has a specific future spouse, or if you do, you have multiple future spouses, something like that. I am seeing a strong, heavy soulmate that's very similar to a future spouse energy. And it's a very strong soulmate connection. I just see it's happening further down the line. We have the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords representing the connection between both of you. And it's very much separated by all these other energies, right? I also think with the Hierophant here too, I think that there's a feeling of someone matching you up with this person in general. And it's also, I'm seeing too that someone is matching you up with people now, or people are trying to hook you up with other people, and you're turning this down, right? Or you're turning these opportunities down to like meet love, something like that. I think if you're watching this reading and you're thinking like, oh man, I want to know my spouse, something like that. I think by next month, with the star card right below next month, you'll have a brand new hope for the future. I think you're going to actually enjoy some of the connections coming in your way, especially if you're waiting for this one person to propose, something like that. I don't think they're going to, this Knight of Wands energy. Remember, they're here for a short time, not a long time. And they might not realize they are, but there's a feeling of this connection fading away or passing through or something like that. But by next month, I see you guys having a lot of hope for the future, a lot of optimism, a lot of hope for the future. There's strong energy of like, with this woman, she's like one of the only figures in the deck that's in color. All the other figures are like black and white. So I definitely feel like there's a feeling of your color returning to you. You know, there's a feeling of growing in your sense of self a little bit and feeling yourself a little bit, you know. A great place to meet partners, I think, is the beach. And I do think that when you do meet the soulmate, it will be at a summery type of environment like the beach or the ocean. I think you're going to meet your soulmate, your future spouse. I'm going to say future spouse because I don't see you guys getting married necessarily, but I do see you finding a long-term soulmate. And with it being someone in the same suit as you, it could be a situation where, like, this could be multiple situations. It could be a situation where you guys grow up in life and you learn that you're like, you know what, I kind of am more into polyamory, right? Or I'm more into like multiple partners, or I'm more into just like letting myself explore relationships whenever I feel necessary, right? I'm into connecting with people on a romantic level, and I just enjoy that. This King of Swords energy and this Queen of Swords energy is perfect energy for that, because it's like walking with someone through life and you guys are on the same page, right? And so even though you're meeting people that are exciting or stimulating or interesting to you, I think you always are going to have this person by your side, especially in later life when you guys meet. And I think that person is going to, in the long run, start to feel like a future spouse, right? And I do see you meeting this person with, it says relaxation and leisure. I think whenever you're feeling relaxed or leisurely, I think that's when you meet this person. I think it's really comfortable with this person, this King of Swords person, to be in a relaxed environment with them and just chill and hang out and talk and enjoy each other. You know, with sun and sand, I think that there's a strong vibe, and also the color returning to the star. You could meet this person while sunbathing or something like that, or you're on the actual sand in the beach and you're like letting the sun bake into your skin, something like that. There could be a big party. I'm seeing all these people on the beach. You could meet this soulmate at a big party on the beach, something like that. But yeah, it's not worth waiting for. It's just saying stop waiting to get married, right? It's not worth it. It's not worth the pain. It's not worth the anxiety of like just waiting for that person to marry, right? You're meant to have a lot of these little flings in life right now. Especially next month, I see you really embracing this attitude a little bit. Whether I feel like a lot of you are so resistant to this reading, like I'm like redoing it and I'm like feeling the resistance on your guys' end, but maybe you really needed to hear this. You know, I deliver the messages that come through. And remember, like my disclaimer says in my description box, take what nourishes your soul and leave the rest. If this reading is not nourishing your soul, you might want to go back and pick another pile. If this does not feel like your path in life, you might want to pick another pile. Also, for some of you, if you're resisting right now, I would say watch this reading in next month. Watch this reading in the future. You might have undergone some pivotal transformation where you're thinking about these things a little bit differently, right? But yeah, let's see what else I'm seeing. Yeah, with Four of Cups, I'm seeing it would be beneficial to accept opportunities. I'm seeing you turning down romantic interest or love interest that people are matching you with, or people are trying to show you different people and they're trying to match you with different people and you're turning them down. It's important to give people a shot, give people a chance. Obviously be upfront with your intentions. Just be like, I don't know if you're the one for me, or I'm just curious. I'm just playing around. Like with Knight of Wands energy, this is not a negative energy. Knight of Wands is like a playboy energy. You know, it's the energy of someone who shows up for a little bit, sweeps you off your feet and then leaves. But at the same time, if you're honest and upfront about that energy in the first place, and that's where you're at, there's nothing wrong with getting into relationships based off that energy. You know, with Queen of Swords here, I am seeing there's a feeling too of following the trends of the time. It might be that in your particular environment or where you live, there's a lot of people that are not ready to settle down, people who just want to play around, something like that. And with Queen of Swords, she's kind of a go with the flow type, right? And I am even seeing these swords crossing, right? And it's like a cross path. It's like you're learning to meet society halfway. And this is the thing. This is one of the growth points for meeting this soulmate, this King of Swords person, right? Like, I don't think this soulmate's coming in it's hard to explain. There's a lot of distance between both of you. There's a lot of things that need to be like almost like blocks or something that need to be uncovered for things to happen. And especially with Knight of Wands, you're meant to be like romantically experimental, right? Like, doesn't mean you have to sleep with everyone unless you want to, you know? But I am seeing this soulmate as more of like a close friend, or someone who's like a really close friend who it's like, I think could grow into romantic connection. But I'm definitely saying this is the person you're pretty much going to spend the rest of your life with, is this soulmate. When this person happens, and it's interesting, it's like they're coming at things from the opposite angle, if that makes sense. So for example, if you started your life like always dreaming about a romantic partner or a perfect relationship, right? They're coming from the other end where they started their life thinking, I never want to be married. Maybe they had a really rough marriage in their childhood that they witnessed, like their parents were divorced or something, and they thought like, I never want to be married. So really, there's a lot of things that have to go on in life for you guys to meet in the middle. And it's kind of like seeing the other one's perspective from the opposite side. So for you guys, I am feeling more like you guys were the ones who've always wanted to be married. You've always wanted to have a relationship, something like that. You've always wanted to have a really close connection that's going to be very long lasting. what I am seeing here is that when you meet this person, when you finally meet in the middle, you've had enough life experience to see that maybe what you initially thought of or dreamed of is not what you want in the end. And they're going to think, maybe I don't need to be like so loveless. Maybe I don't need to just shun relationships at all costs. Maybe I should be the kind of person who integrates and is with someone. So I do see you guys kind of meeting in the middle. And what that means is that your relationship with your future spouse, right, or your soulmate, is going to be more like, how do I put it? Like with the swords energy here, it's more intellectual. It could be more business-like. It's more like a meeting of like understanding after a whole bunch of life experience, right? It's not all just like, oh, we're both madly in love and we enjoy this and stuff like that. Like that's probably something that will grow with you guys over time, but you have these opposite starting points in life. And when you meet in the middle, you both have enough life experience to kind of relate to each other and that other person's starting point and be like, wow, I kind of see the full picture now. I see the full picture of how relationships work. I see the full picture of how connections work. I see the whole picture of why it's important to dream of love, and at the same time, why it's important not to dream of love, why it's important to shun love, and why it's important not to shun love. I think there's such a meeting ground in the middle when you guys both meet, or when you guys have your kind of ultimate soulmate connection that bonds you two together so strongly. And like I said, next month you might be making some changes in your psychology, right? And I am seeing timing wise, this is just going to happen when you've reached a point where you've really integrated your future spouses. I'm doing quotes again for that because honestly, they're feeling more like a soulmate than a future spouse, but this will be the person you spend the most time with in life. I am seeing a connection that gets bonded close and doesn't break apart. So that is very much like the same energy as a future spouse, but with it's not worth waiting for, it's not going to be the traditional marriage. It's not going to be the traditional, like, you might have a traditional wedding, I don't know, but like it's not going to feel traditional like you've always thought of your entire life. Like whatever marriage you thought you were going to have your entire life, this person's different. And for some of you, you're coming in on the opposite spectrum. So you've never wanted to get married in your entire life, and now you're starting to think about marriage, and you're thinking like, man, maybe I do want a marriage, but I'm so hesitant to get into a marriage because I don't want that marriage that's like what everyone else has or what everyone else is going through. There's something about marriage that has rubbed you guys the wrong way your entire life, something like that. So whatever it is, you guys are meeting in the middle and you're defining your own terms for what marriage is. And for some of you, this is going to be a breath of fresh air to hear this statement. You're really defining your own terms of what a marriage is. It doesn't matter what other people say a marriage is. It doesn't matter if you met young, met later in life, whatever. It doesn't matter. These rules, these arbitrary rules don't matter, especially with the swords energies. This is about rules. This is about logic. This is about creating what you want in your mind and expressing it outwardly. I think you guys have a very logical way of understanding love with your future spouse, with your soulmate. And there's a very logical way of understanding love. And that's a really beautiful thing because honestly, a lot of people let feelings get in the way. And that can lead to a lot of things like jealousy, misunderstandings. And these are things you're not going to have with your partner. I see a very calm relationship. I see you guys discussing things in a very communicative, expressive way. Swords are also about communication. So I see a very communicative relationship, a lot of idea sharing. It could even be a little bit of an intellectual relationship where you guys discuss projects and information and stuff like that. But yeah, I do think that with the Hierophant here, you might be met with this person or you might be meeting this person through a third party, something like that. And with the keys in the Hierophant, I am seeing this person has the key to your heart. They have all the answers to the questions in life that you don't have yet. Yeah, and it's almost like you need your own way of growing up, your own way of nurturing and how you expressed and believed in love, if you believed or not in marriage when you were younger. And you also need a little bit of life experience. And then that's like the magic component for this person to come in. Like I said, I'm going to be honest with pulling next month. Some of you, this person could be coming in next month. If you're watching this reading, I mean, it's for just some of you, but this person could be coming in next month. But also with it's not worth waiting for, I would not wait for this person. There is more to meets the eye in your life than just one relationship. And I think you guys, it's important to know this. Also, if you've been waiting on partners to make a commitment, I think you guys are being shown that these partners will not make a commitment. And you're being given signs that they're not going to make the commitment. And it's important to like let these people pass you by and just find the connection that feels most alive in the moment, right? Finding that connection that feels most alive in the moment is going to be like that beacon that guides you on your path, right? You're meant to collect relationship experiences in this lifetime. I think it's going to really help your partner when you guys get into that final soulmate connection. I even think you'll still be able to have that freedom when you're with your partner to like explore other people and like connect romantically with others, you know? I mean, there's a lot of different varieties of how this could play out. Maybe your partner, you know, expects a certain amount of fidelity as far as like sexual chemistry, something like that. Or like maybe they expect a certain amount of romantic fidelity and then they don't mind if you're sexually exploring, something like that. Whatever the case may be, there's a feeling of still being able to explore relationships and new people and getting to know people even when you have your partner. It's like a part of your relationship that you guys actually enjoy together is like talking about these people that you meet. You know, I think that that's something that is really interesting to you guys because I think you guys really understand relationships on a logical level, you and your future spouse, right? You guys are probably so sick of me doing the air quotes. But yeah, so I'm going to end your guys' reading there. Just remember, as far as timing goes, it's not worth waiting for. This is definitely applying in your future spouse situation. It's not worth waiting for this to happen. Like you guys need you don't need to, but I'm just saying like you can live your life. Like you're free to live your life. Like you can do what you want. You know, like there's a lot of things coming in your life that before this marriage that are going to be fulfilling and amazing. You know, and I think next month you're going to be experiencing some of these changes. I think you're going to have with the star card here a little bit of a glow up or a little bit of a new outlook, a little bit of a glow up in your outlook on life, as you guess you could say. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I'm going to end your guys' reading there. Remember, if this did not resonate, if maybe part of the message resonated for not waiting or something like that, but maybe you feel like you really do have a future spouse out there and you just know it deep in your heart that you have someone out there for you, pick another pile. But for a lot of you, I'm glad I got to give you this message, honestly. I know sometimes the message can be tough to hear, but sometimes it's needed. I don't know. I just like to give the messages and, you know, see where the chips fall, I guess you could say. So, yeah. So if you guys like the reading, please like or comment below. If you really enjoyed this reading, you resonated with my energy, please subscribe to the channel. We're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. And with that said, I'll catch you guys in the next pick a card. It was an honor to read for you today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hey, group 3. This is if you picked... That was my door. Oh my gosh. That was... My door was... Okay, group 3. This is if you picked Lepidolite. So let's get into your reading. All about when and where will you meet your future spouse. So let's get the timing card first for group 3. When will group 3 meet their future spouse? What timing? Oh my God. In a few days. Wow. Okay. That came up strong. Okay, so let's get the where. For some of you already met your future spouse. Fuel station. I'm gonna get one more actually. Place. Let's see if one more comes out. Okay, I think that, okay, fuel station's coming through a little bit more metaphorically. That's why I wanted to pull one more to get a more actual location. But let's get some of your tarot cards on the table. Okay, so for group 3, what do they need to know about when and where they're meeting their future spouse? We have Temperance, the Devil, and 4 of Wands. Let's get some more cards for when and where group 3 are going to meet their future spouse. What do they need to know about this situation? And we have, your cards are flipping up really easily. Group 3. Sorry, I said group 4, but you're group 3. Honestly, that means this message, like, first of all, everything flipped up really quickly. I think that in that regard, this could be happening in a few days, or it could be happening so spontaneously and like recently or like soon that you guys, wow. You're probably already in this connection is kind of what I'm seeing. I think because everything flipped out so quickly, you're probably already in this connection, or this is someone that you've already met. Let's see here. Well, okay, I'm being told to read suddenly too. Like there's a feeling of the reading pushing me into reading before I've really analyzed the cards. So I started analyzing the cards and then not a lot of information was coming. There's like, just read it, just read it. Like there's such a suddenness to this situation, right? Within a few days, you literally could be meeting your future spouse in a few days, like after watching this reading. For those of you who are like, yeah, right, I'm not going to, it's most likely you guys are, how do I put this? Going to be surprised by this when you do meet them. Also, I am feeling for some of you, you've already met this person, right? Within a few days, I'm feeling like you've already met this person. With fuel station, where you're going to meet them, it's going to be somewhere super basic, right? Like fuel station's not the most glamorous place to meet someone. It's going to be somewhere really random. It's not even going to be like, the place is not even going to matter that much. You could literally meet them at a gas station or a convenience store or a charging station. But for most of you, it's just going to be somewhere really simple. It's going to be somewhere really like just basic is kind of what I'm seeing. Let's get into like the situation when you're meeting. With Seven of Wands here, I think you guys are going to be a little bit resistant to this person. I think they're going to approach you. We have them as the King of Wands energy here, representing this man riding in on a horse, which is interesting because horses represent transportation. I am saying that this person could be in a car or something like that, or you could notice their car upon first meeting. They might have a really nice car, a really interesting car, or maybe you actually don't like their car that much, but there's something about their car that is drawing attention, or their vehicle or something, or maybe they're riding a bike at this moment in time or something like that, and maybe it's like their bike or something like that that's drawing attention. I do feel you guys are a little resistant to this person. I think they start talking to you in public randomly and you're a little resistant to communicating with them. I think this person's very forward socially, like in meeting people. I think they're like in lines at grocery stores and stuff, they're really chatty. They're like that person that like has conversations with people in lines and stuff like that. With Seven of Wands here, I do see you guys being a little resistant to meeting them, or wanting to get close with them. There's a feeling like that, but it's interesting. I think that after they make a few attempts, like to talk to you, like maybe they ask you a question or something, you give them like a one-word answer, and then they ask you another question, they give you one word answer. It's like their interest is right away. Like their interest and curiosity about you is right away. Like they just want to come up to you, straight up to you, and start talking to you and asking you questions. It's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. The vibe here too is that you're resistant at first, but then I think that they say a few things that kind of start to spark your interest, and like, gradually through the conversation, you start talking with them. This could be a situation where you're at a specific area, like a gas station or somewhere where it's like a temporary thing. Like, okay, I'm running into this building real quick to get my coffee and then I'm going to leave, right? And what I'm seeing here is that with King of Wands here, it's like they start talking and you're like, oh God, I gotta go, I gotta do this. All these arbitrary things that you've set up for yourself that really you don't have to do, because I definitely see that once you start talking to this person, they gradually, how do I put it, like, they like get on your nerves in a good way. Like, you can get on someone's nerves in a bad way where they're like, oh, I hate this person, I need to get away. That's not the case with this person. It's like after a few questions that they've launched at you, I see you starting to warm up to them. Like, okay, this person doesn't seem so bad. Like, there's a vibe of maybe there's a break in the moment with sense of humor. We have Four of Wands here, which represents happiness and sense of humor and positivity, celebration, stuff like that. Positive atmospheres with like a positive charge. So there is a possible vibe here of like having that kind of atmosphere when you first meet this person. Like, whoa, it's like I'm at a party, right? Like this person's making me feel like I'm at a party. That's kind of the vibe here. So even though there's initial resistance and this person's pretty forward, I see you warming up to them, right? I see you warming up to them, and they're going to make an offer like, what are you doing right now? Like, this is actually going really well. Like, what are you doing right now? And you're going to say, nothing much. And it's hilarious because you have a whole bunch of shit you have to do. I see you blowing off people that you had plans with that day because you're just so excited about this person. Like this person is just intriguing to you. You're warming up to them. They feel easy. They feel comfortable. I think wherever you're at, like if you're at the gas station or whatever, maybe you guys choose to like sit on a bench or something or do something, or there's an offer, right? With this Ace of Cups, there's a feeling of an offer of like a date or a new thing. It's very like spontaneous. It's like the universe just brings this person in. You're like, whoa, here they are, right? So that could happen in a few days, right? For a lot of you, this could happen in a few days. This is so wild that I get to give you guys this reading like days before it's going to happen. For others of you, you've already met this person. This is someone you met at a simple place. They were very forward. They were very like, they could have been charming, but with King of Wands, I'm just getting someone who's ready to engage, right? Like the vibe that I'm getting with them is they were ready to engage. They were ready to chat. They were ready to talk. You threw up a little bit of resistance, but eventually you're like, okay, fine, we'll hang out. And then I think you guys just started hanging out. Like you just started hanging out. One hangout led to the next. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. With Four of Wands, I think you guys have a lot of fun together. Four of Wands talks about marriage in general. So this is definitely a confirmation that this is your future spouse. You will be getting married to them. This is also the confirmation that you're in a pleasant exchange with this person. Like, I think it's always fun. It's always laughs. It's always good times, you know? I think even though initially they were asking a lot of questions about you, I think it's gonna, like, you might be nervous about that because maybe you guys don't do well in that situation or something. But like, what I'm seeing is that it's gonna play into a more fun, playful, kind of like, happy kind of vibe. Like a positive, like, almost like goofy kind of vibe is kind of what I'm seeing. With the Devil and Temperance card here, you're going to learn in the long run that like, how do I put this? One of you is more like the devil and one of you is more like the angel. It's very much like this relationship's very much like heaven and hell, you know? The vibe that I'm getting here is like, for example, with the traditional meanings of the Devil and the Temperance, you get someone who's more addicted to things. You get someone who's more moderate and temperate in things. There could be an exchange here where you help someone, you either help your partner. I am seeing, because there's like a male here and a female here. So I am kind of seeing this person with the King of Wands energy representing the masculine energy as someone who's more masculine, but maybe someone who's like dealing with some kind of like addiction or something like that, or they're trying to get over something, or they're maybe like, how do I put it? Like, I think when you guys raise your children, if you guys have children, there's a strong vibe of one of you being like, everything in moderation, kids, and then your spouse being like, like your spouse being like, oh, you want that? Let me just give it to you. Like there's someone who like always gives things and like is very like, how do I put it? Like encourages kind of like dependency or encourages things like that, where the other spouse is more like moderate, like maintain your independence, stuff like that. So I think your kids or whoever you're raising is going to get a view of both perspectives, essentially, of like how to engage with the world or how to deal with things. I think on one level, your kids might go back and forth to both perspectives to decide what they like more for their life, you know, but there are themes of moderation. There are themes of letting go of addictions. There are themes of blending with the Temperance card. And then there are themes of a little bit of themes of domination with the Devil card. So I do think that on one level, even though you guys have a very fun, playful, happy kind of connection, there are themes of domination in this connection as well. I don't think that they're like scary themes of domination. Like they're not the traditional, like, I'm going to dominate you and it's going to be painful kind of way. It's almost like there's a feeling of like it's weird. It's like you guys have this feeling of ownership with each other. I do see a very, what's it called? Strong bond, because the Wands is making me think of commitment. The Devil's making me think of being tied. The Temperance is making me think of like it's lightening this energy essentially. So like basically I do see you guys having a very monogamous, committed partnership. It's kind of what I'm saying. It's monogamous, it's committed, it's it has both aspects of the Devil and the Angel, right? You guys might actually weigh your choices a lot in this connection. Like, man, should I go this path or should I go this path? Like, you know, and you might have like, it's interesting. One of you might play like devil's advocate for the other one, right? Like if the other one is like saying something in a particular way, like I want to do this, the other one might say, well, what if you did this? Like there's a feeling of someone playing devil's advocate, like presenting the opposite opinion to entice the other one to think in a more clear way. There's just this general energy of devil and temperance energy, devil and angel energy, where it's like one person plays the devil to get the other person to be the angel. One person might play the angel to get the other one to be the devil, you know, and that might happen in like the bedroom too. Like one person plays innocent and angelic, and then the other person gets like, you know, like hot and heavy and, you know, like lusty and stuff like that. And then that attracts them. Or one person, in order to get the other one to calm down, like says something that's very like sinister, and then the other person, like it lights them up and makes them peaceful. There's like a nice interplay of light and dark aspects in this connection, where there's a feeling of reaction and chemistry in that regard, where you guys are actually stimulating each other into like a more spontaneous, more free-flowing, loving, positive environment, right? Just because you're working with light and dark energies doesn't mean your overall environment can't be one of fun, joy, pleasure, happiness. You know, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. And with the Ace of Cups here, there is another strong vibe. I'm picking up children again. Like there's a feeling that you guys could have a child, at least one child, in your life, something like that. I think that's most of what's coming through here. Yeah, I would have looked over the reading more, but I was really being called to just read it. Like there's a feeling of like, yeah, with the air turning off just now, that's more confirmation. Like, I think there's a feeling of just needing information and wanting the information. I'm going to look it over one quick second, because I can't help myself, and see if there's any more information for you guys. I know this is a shorter reading than the other groups, but I really think what got through needed to get through. Yeah, with refueling stop here, the feeling I'm getting is like you're just on your day-to-day errands, you're on your trip, or you're doing something, and like you're just stopping to get fuel. Like that's the feeling that's the emotional state you're in. The where is more coming through as an emotional state. That's why I said it was metaphorical. I wanted to pull another card to see exact location, but I wasn't getting any information from the deck. So with refueling stop, it's just a strong vibe of like, you're just pulling over to get some gas, right? And you're ready to be on your way. And this person's just randomly talking to you, right? And you're like, oh, okay, whatever. Okay, you know, that's the vibe of like the initial start of the connection, right? And then it's like you start to warm up to this person. You're like, you know what? They're kind of nice. They're kind of chill. I like them, you know? And then it just like gets really comfortable, and all of a sudden you're offering each other to go on a date, or one person's offering the other one to go on a date, or to exchange numbers, or to hang out. I think you'll hang out immediately after that, and I really do think you're gonna blow off some people to hang out with this person. I really do strongly believe that for a lot of you. So I'm going to end your guys' reading there. If you guys like this reading, please like or comment below. If you really enjoyed this reading and you resonate with my energy, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. And with that said, I'm going to end your guys' reading there. It was an honor and pleasure to read for you. Within a few days, that's like really strong news that you guys are going to meet someone in a few days that is like your spouse, your future spouse. For those of you, you've already met this person. For most of you, you've already met this person. But yeah, in a few days is pretty blatant, right? Like that's obvious. So yeah, with that said, I'm going to end your guys' reading there. I'll catch you in the next one, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hey group 4, this is if you picked the Smokey Quartz. It's really cool. Smokey crystal. I like Smokey Quartz a lot. I've had really good experiences with it as a stone. Okay, timing of when you're going to meet your future spouse. We're going to get the where, or the when, and then we're going to get the where. So when will group 4 meet their future spouse? We have later than you think. See if I'll get another timing message just to clarify or add on to that later than you think message. Is there another timing that wants to come through for group 4 on when they're gonna? Okay, we have fall and June. Okay, so okay, let's get a location for where you guys will be meeting your future spouse. Where will group 4 be meeting their future spouse? We have tavern. I'm gonna move some of these so we're gonna make this a little less crowded over there. We have tavern, drinks and beverages, pub food, tavern traditions. Cool. Okay. That's where I meet a lot of my friends. Okay, so let's see what tarot cards need to come out about this meeting. What cards need to come out for group 4 about them meeting their future spouse? Wheel of Fortune, that right there. Let's see, what other cards need to come out for group 4 about them meeting their future spouse? What other cards need to come out for group 4 about... We have the Emperor. What other cards need to come out for group 4 about? We have the Lovers. We love to see that. There's a few Lovers cards in this deck. There's 2 same-sex couples and there's 1 hetero couple. Let's see. We also have 3 of Cups. Do we need any more cards for this reading? What do we need for this reading? Any more cards need to come out for group 4? Do one more second, and then the other same-sex couple is the Lovers. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep these cards on the table. I'll just like... Okay, a little asymmetrical reading, like visually wise, but it's okay. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect or straight. In your guys' case, it's probably not because we have the 2 same-sex lovers. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's get into your reading. First, the when you guys are meeting. So first of all, this is later than you think. If you guys have been imagining you're going to meet someone maybe in the next year, or the year after, or whatever the time frame you're thinking you're going to meet someone, it's way later than you think it is. Maybe not way later, but it's later than you think it is. It's not going to happen. It's not happening on your timing, that's for sure. It's happening when the universe wants it to happen. So I definitely think that there's a cool vibe here of like, especially like, for example, with later than you think, maybe with the tavern card, you guys are thinking like, oh crap, I don't even want to go to a bar. Like I hate bars. I don't like drinking. I don't like nightlife. I'm a morning person, something like that. You guys are going to go through a transformation where you actually enjoy going to the bar a little bit. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting for a lot of you, that it's later than you think because there's a feeling of moving into this energy later in life. Yeah, so the tavern might seem odd because I'm seeing it so far down the line. You might not be in a place with a tavern or where there's drinks or something like that. If you are, more power to you. It's just showing you that you're going to keep returning to this location. So maybe you've thought in the past that, you know, I don't want to go out to the bars anymore. I don't want to go drinking, or I don't want to go to a club or whatever. There's a vibe here of like maybe growing out of it and then returning back to it at a later date when you're older, something like that. Even though you guys might take a break for a while, maybe you guys are trying to get sober, something like that, and you finally get sober, but then you think, you know what, I missed the socialization aspect of it. I just want to go out and just socialize and talk to people. So maybe later than you think just talks about being in a different time in your life when you're actually sober, something like that, and you go back out to the bar, something like that. Whatever the case may be, you're in a tavern when you're meeting this person. There's going to be drinks, there's going to be beverages, there's going to be pub food, tavern traditions. Tavern traditions is making me think of very much, like I'm getting like Lord of the Rings vibes for this pile, like very much like wholesome bar like that, like very positive vibes in this bar is kind of what I'm seeing. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the introduction to Lord of the Rings in the Fellowship, right? Where Gandalf has the fireworks and stuff, and there's like a big party going on. I'm getting tavern vibes like that from this card. Could just be that this bar or this place becomes really important to you guys and you have really positive experiences there. With later than you think, this is happening later than you think. It's not going to happen soon. It's not going to happen pretty quickly. With June, I do see you meeting this person in June, but not really falling in love with them until the fall. So it might be that you meet this person in June, you're spending time with them, you maybe don't really like them right off the bat, something like that. Maybe they don't feel like the one or something like that. Like they don't feel like the right type or something like that. Or maybe you have to get to know them more. And then by the fall, there's a feeling of really falling in love with this person, being head over heels and really enjoying their company. So there's a little bit of a timeline, right? Later than you think can also imply that maybe you meet someone in June, or you've already met someone this June. And with later than you think, you might not fall for them until way later, right? You might not fall for them until later down the line, right? With fall also representing falling in love, with the fall card here, with the word fall, like fall in love, it's giving me strong vibes of like falling hard, right? Like falling really hard for this person. We have the two lovers cards here, and they're both same sex. So I feel like a lot of you watching this are looking for a same sex connection, something like that. It's like super confirmation about that. The other thing that I'm seeing for you guys, say you are not looking for a same-sex partnership, you're looking for someone who's the opposite sex, there's a strong vibe that like with the energies here, how do I put this? There's a strong vibe of like being very androgynous as a person. So maybe you really identify with being a woman or a man or whatever. But say, or use an example as a woman. You can apply to it if you're a man, and you can just exchange the example. But like, say you're a woman. Maybe you're really masculine for a woman. Or maybe, for example, you really attract a lot of women as a woman. Like maybe you're a woman and you're always trying to date men, but maybe lesbian women are always hitting on you. There's something about you that really attracts lesbians to you, something like that. There's something vibe here of like having some kind of blend of androgyny to your personality. You know, maybe you take on, you know, masculine responsibilities if you're a woman, something like that. And this would apply equally if you're a man. So if you're a man, maybe you take on more feminine responsibilities. Or maybe like for some reason, like women are like, well, women would be attracted. Maybe for some reason, like men are attracted to you or something like that, or you have like a lot of men who are falling, or maybe gay men love you so much or something like that. There's a strong vibe of whether you're wanting a same-sex couple or not, and this is going to play into your partner, I'm seeing actually as the reading goes on. But like there's a feeling with like the perfect combination with your partner where like they're the sex you want, they're the energy you want, but at the same time they're also that perfect blend of masculine and feminine where it feels like puzzle pieces that just fit perfectly together, right? And this could be physically, like whether you are a different gender or something like that, or you're transgender or something like that. This person is like the perfect piece that fits perfectly with you. It's like the matchup is so yin and yang is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. This could also be a connection to one quick mention. This is also just double confirmation for those of you who have been in a same-sex connection previously, but you decided it's not what you wanted and you wanted something, or you get into something different, right? So maybe you and your partner are both bisexual. Maybe your partner, if they're a man, has like dated men before, and maybe if you're a woman, you've dated women before, but then you guys get together and you're like, you know, we want to make this thing work between us. Or there's something about experiencing each other in a different way than the couples that you've experienced in the past, something like that. With Wheel of Fortune, I think this is going to be a very serendipitous connection. I think you're going to start to notice around this person, you get very lucky. Like you get very lucky, like luck is on your side when you hang out with this person. You might hang out with them for an hour or two, like maybe the first date. I don't know if that would be July, August, whenever, September, when you get the first date with this person. But there's a feeling of feeling very lucky around them. Like there's something about this person that makes you feel blessed. There's something about this person that makes you feel like anything could happen. I think unexpected things happen, but they're always lucky things. And it's like, how did this happen to me? Like I just hung out with this person for an hour and then like the next moment, like I found $20 on the floor. You know, it's kind of like that. It's like you just get lucky, right? Or it's like I hung out with this person for 15 minutes and then like I left, I went to the grocery store and then I ran into this other person who gave me this business connection. And now I'm like, have a new client for my business. It's something like that. It's like things are going to start turning around. Your luck's going to start turning around when you meet this person or around the time you meet this person. It could also be with Wheel of Fortune and Tavern. You're playing a game of chance in a tavern. So for example, maybe you're in a tavern and there's poker being played or a card game, or maybe there's some kind of game or game of chance being played. I see you guys playing some kind of game of chance in this situation, or there's something about luck turning around in this bar or something like that. It could also be with the Wheel of Fortune here in the tavern. Maybe you are going to a bar and it just got renovated, right? Or it just got some remodeling done on the bar, something like that. And so now that you're at this bar, there's a feeling of like something being changed or done, or there's a feeling of basically a feeling of change to the location that you're at, but the location's the same. Like, it's still going to be a bar, but it's like there's a feeling of changing to the location. Maybe you meet this person in a place that's being remodeled at the time, or there's a feeling of remodeling when you meet this person. I also think with the Emperor card here at the tavern, there's going to be a lot of straight up just really masculine people at this bar. That's kind of what I'm feeling, like a lot of masculine energy. So I think that you guys are going to feel a little bit different, because I feel like, for one thing, if you're women watching my channel, you'll be one of the only women at the bar at the night you meet your partner. And the other factor is that your partner's not going to seem like all the other typical just like bro-y type dudes, right? Like, there's a feeling of like really super masculine energies around you, but at the same time your partner's not presenting that way, and so it's really easy to see them out of a crowd, is kind of what I'm seeing. For my men watching this channel, for my gay men watching this channel, this could just be a gay bar, right? So many masculine energies, so many dudes, and it's really, with the Lovers card, this guy like making out with this guy right here. Like, there's a strong vibe that there could be a very strong physical attraction with your future spouse right upon first meeting. But maybe because you're meeting in June, right, you don't actually get the romantic attraction till fall, right? So for my gay men watching, it might be something like a straight up like hook up on the dance floor kind of vibe, or a hookup in the bar, like tavern area or something like that. And then like you don't really get to know each other till the fall, or you keep it casual till the fall, something like that. Yeah, in general, just a lot of masculine energy around you. Yeah, it might be one of those things too, where my female viewers, if you normally go to bars with like a lot of women, you might one night go to a bar and it's like, whoa, where did all the dudes come from? You know? And if you're in June, that might be a sign. You know, if you're in the middle of June and there's tons of dudes around, that might be a sign your man is right around the corner. You know, you just have to look for the guy that kind of doesn't blend in with the rest of the masculine dudes, you know? With Three of Cups, I think this is like an interesting thing, because I think you guys are going to have friends with you at this situation. When you meet your person, it's like you either going to have friends around you, or they're going to have friends around them. It might be that this guy that you're meeting, with the situation with the bar of the men, and if you're a woman watching, there might be a situation where your guy is like stands out from his group of friends, like they stand out from them, but at the same time they have like a solid group of male friends. Like they're kind of like a man's man, in that they understand how men work on that level, but they're also like feminine in the sense that they are like feminine enough where they can relate to women, where maybe their male friends are like a little like, lack of a better term, dumb in that department, you know, like they don't know how to like really relate to women. And this person is like more psychologically astute, I guess you could say, has that more feminine, psychologically astute component. With Three of Cups, I really just see you guys having like a lot of your friends around, or they're having a lot of their friends around. There might be a lot of people that you know in this bar or something like that. So there might be a lot of people around you that know you. It might not be meeting this person in a place where you don't know a lot of people, like at a coffee shop or somewhere where you don't really talk to people. I feel like you guys frequent this tavern frequently. There's a lot of people that you know. I think there's a lot of people there that you're familiar with. It's like a normal place that you go to all the time. For those men that are, my gay men watching, and this is like a gay bar that you go to all the time, and you like see all your friends there and stuff like that, and this random new person's coming in, and you're like, whoa, I like them, you know? So yeah, let me see what else I can see. I do think it's later than you think, you know? And usually with this card, it just means enjoy your life now, you know? Later than you think means like, it's not going to happen right away. It's not going to happen the next day. Like the last group we got was like in a few days. So that was pretty wild to get that card. But later than you think just means it's later than you imagine it's going to happen, right? Like maybe you had plans to get married at like 25, or maybe you had plans to get married at like 30 or whatever. Maybe it's like 5 years after that, something like that. So, you know, for women, I do want to point out, if you want kids, and you're an older viewer of mine, you can look into, what's that? I think it's called freezing your eggs. I am so bad with like the feminine anatomy. I'm going to be honest. But it's something where it's like you can have kids later, even though when you can't have kids, you can still have kids, something like that. So just like taking measures like that could be beneficial if you want kids in the future, something like that. Because later than you think might, especially if you're an older person watching my channel, it might be later than you, for that thing to unfold, right? Let's see. I think I'm going to end your guys' reading there. If you guys like this reading, please like or comment below. If you really enjoyed this reading and you resonated with my energy, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. And with that said, I'm going to end your reading and we're going to move on to the 5th group with the green jade. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I enjoyed having you here and I enjoy your presence on this channel. You guys make, you make this channel. And I feel like, you know, that's everything, you know? So, yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Bye. Hey, group 5. I need that other finger out there. Hey, group 5. This is if you pick the green jade. So let's get into your reading. So, when will you meet your future spouse and where will you meet your future spouse? So let's pull the when card for the timing oracle. When will group 5 meet their future spouse? When will group 5 meet their future spouse? Oh, we have just around the corner. And these people look like they're getting married. So there you go. Let's see. Just around the corner is kind of a vague message for timing. So I do think you guys are not that concerned about specific timing here. You just want to know it's close. And this is just confirmation that it is close. It's like just around the corner, like you're going to meet this person so soon. Let's see where you're going to meet them. Maybe that's more important to you guys. We have grassland. Let me get one more card. Yes. Okay. Oh, this is so funny. Okay. So grassland, amusement park, and church. I'm actually going to put this card over here. Interesting. Okay. So let's get some tarot cards. Whoa, that's way too many. Okay, let's get some tarot cards and see what's coming up for when and where group 5 is meeting their future spouse. 3 of Wands. Let's see. When and where is group 5 meeting their future spouse? I'm gonna pull for you guys, actually. We have 2 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, and 3 of Pentacles. Okay, let's get into your reading. I'm being called to not read the tarot cards right off the bat and to look. I accept this 2 of Swords is really calling me. This woman has one sword pointed down here, and she's lifting this other sword and turning her head to the right of the screen, and she's pointing up to this church, right? So with spiritual sanctuary, sacred architecture, there is a strong vibe that you either met this person in church or at a church, something like that. It's also possible that for a lot of you, there might be different people watching this pile, and these are all going to be areas where you are going to meet your person. So for example, okay, so I know you guys all pick group 5, right? But there might be different people in this group who are going to resonate with one of these themes, maybe more than the other. For some of you, for most of you, actually, with the 2 of Swords pointing to church, there's a strong indication that you are going to meet this person or church, or you're going to get to know this person through a community or church event. I think that, for example, you might during what's it called? Mass? I don't know. I actually don't go to church. Don't sue me, guys. I don't go to church. Basically, I think you can meet this person at church. Some kind of community or spiritual community where you guys congregate with other people and experience your particular belief system. I think that this is also indicating that you and your spouse are going to have very similar belief systems, right? You're going to meet in the same type of energy, the same type of church. Another place that you could meet this person with thrilling rides, carnival fun, and festive atmosphere, you could meet this person at an amusement park, or it could be like a church trip to an amusement park, like maybe a church group that you're a part of is going to an amusement park, something like that. So, especially if this is saying just around the corner and you do go to church and your church trip is having a trip to an amusement park, that's really confirmation for you guys, because that's a really specific example, and that's something that if that's the case, then it's probably likely that you're going to be getting really close with or meet your future spouse on this trip. Anyway, so for a lot of you though, grassland is coming through. You're going to meet this person in an open field or grassland. There could be a feeling of meeting this person on a farm, shout out Farmers Only. I don't know if you guys remember that. There was a website called Farmers Only, and it was like, if you were a farmer, you could hook up with other farmers, or you could get married with other farmers. There might be a vibe of that. There might just also be a vibe of like being in nature, right? Like feeling very much in nature, or being in an open, expansive area, being in the countryside even. But grassland makes me think that you're going to be in a grassy field. Like you're going to notice that when you're meeting your future spouse, you're surrounded by grass, right? So whether that's on someone's front lawn and there's grass on their front lawn, whether that's in a park and there's grass in the park, you're going to be in a grassy area. With amusement park too, I think there could be an amusement park nearby, or there's a feeling of meeting at an amusement park. For some of you, if there's a grassy area at the amusement park, that's where you're going to be meeting this person. In like a grassy area at amusement park. This could also be like, I don't know why church, amusement park, and grasslands give me like rave vibes. Maybe it's just, been a while since I've been to a rave myself, but like, I see you like talking with this person on like, in like a area outside of like a rave, or where there's I feel like amusement park rides are coming through really strongly for this location. Like whether you're at a rave or an amusement park or wherever you are at, whether you're at one of those traveling carnivals that come to town or something like that, there's a feeling of like an amusement park energy in this kind of activity. Like there's a feeling of fun going on around you, something like that. A festive atmosphere is what's said right here. So those are all places and locations where you can meet this person. I feel like a lot of you, with church, they're going to have the same spiritual beliefs as you. And you could also be in a place with like sacred architecture. I'm seeing all the light coming through here. So you could be in an older building, or a building that is like, you could meet this person in like a historical landmark, like a church on vacation, something like that, or, a church in the middle of a grassy field. This is definitely giving like, what's that movie? I think it's like Carnival or something. There's like a show on TV called Carnival or something. It has been forever since I watched it. But there's like, this is giving me like movies. Like, how in the movies, there's like an amusement park in the middle of the open field, and it's like this mystical amusement park, and there's like a religious component to it. It's giving like that kind of vibe, interestingly enough. I think you guys will have like a more magical type of experience with the location when you meet this person. With just around the corner, this is like very romantic. This picture is very romantic, and they're very happy and in love. So that's confirmation. Air just turned off. With just around the corner, I definitely think that, I think that you guys are really happy. I think that you're going to be really happy when you meet this person. It's going to be a romantic situation. You could even meet this person at a wedding, at a church, right? And then after, or at the bachelor party or bachelorette party or something, there's an amusement park or something, or after the wedding, you go to an amusement park, something like that. That's all the kind of energy that I'm seeing. Okay, so as far as the tarot cards go, right? I think you meet this person, as far as, this is also referring to timing of the Three of Wands, when you start to face your fears. I'm seeing this guy facing the wave coming in from him from the ocean, and he's bracing himself. He's holding on to these two wands, and he's saying like, hit me, wave, like whatever you do, whatever you've got, give it to me. I feel like there's this sense of embracing all the manifestations that come into you and feeling like that. I mean, it might be one of those moments in your life where you're feeling like, you know what, whatever the universe wants to throw at me, I'm going to take it. There's a feeling of surrendering to whatever's going to happen, right? And I think that's the key to like bringing this person around. And you might be in this energy already. You might be in this energy of like, you know what? I'm tired of like waiting for my manifestations. I'm tired of trying to make them happen. I'm just going to take whatever the universe gives me. So whatever the universe is going to throw my way, I'm going to take it. Forget trying to control the outcome. I am just going to receive, and I'm going to, even if these waves hit me, I'm going to stand my ground, and I'm just going to take it, right? That's kind of the main energy of all the tarot cards that I'm seeing right now. Two of Swords also can talk about, in a more traditional sense, the card like the Rider-Waite. Talks about like following your intuition when you have like a lot on your mind, or when there's multiple choices to follow through on, or something like that. You guys could be debating a choice right now to either stick with not going to church or going to church. The cards are urging you to go to that community center where you feel spiritual, where you have a spiritual group. This could also be including, because it doesn't have to be church necessarily, but if there's a feeling, or you're being called to join a group, a spiritual community or a spiritual group, the Two of Swords is nudging you with her throwing this arm up to the church, nudging you in that direction, right? Think of this Two of Swords as like your spirit guide pointing the sword up to the church, being like, go ahead and join that spiritual community. That's on your path, right? Yeah, and with the Nine of Pentacles here, I feel like you're not listening to your guides right now, or there's a feeling of being hesitant with the information they're giving you. And that's okay. Like you don't have to always listen to your quote unquote guides, you know, what's that? There's like trickster energy out there, right? So maybe your guides are not so clear cut. But with Nine of Pentacles here, it's talking about your independence, right? Your spiritual independence, right? But the cards are urging you, even if you don't listen to like your own spiritual instincts or intuition, maybe joining a spiritual group and listening to a community's guidance could be beneficial at this time. Just what I'm seeing for this, kind of to nudge you along to get this partner coming into your life, right? There's a feeling of joining some kind of spiritual community and meeting that person. Either you meet that person straight up in that spiritual community, or there's a trip to an amusement park with that spiritual community and you meet that person there, something like that. With the Nine of Pentacles here, I feel like you guys are pretty financially independent, pretty self-made people. I also feel like you're pretty independent in general, and this could lead into loneliness a little bit. I do think with the Three of Pentacles here, you enjoy working with others, you enjoy teamwork, you enjoy having fun with others, you enjoy collaboration, you enjoy I think you just enjoy being part of a group. With the Two of Pentacles here, you enjoy financial partnerships, you enjoy making deals with people. There's a strong vibe that this person too, you might actually make a financial deal with them before you get romantic with them. So there could be an indication of when you meet this person, there could be a business exchange, right? So for example, if you're watching my readings and you're actually similar to me, like you like tarot card readings, you like crystals, stuff like that, and you're thinking of joining a spiritual community of like-minded people, there could be a feeling of when you join this community, making some certain business deals with people, you know, because sometimes with like-minded individuals, it can be more of a business thing than it is more of like a, what's it called? Like a love or romantic thing, right? So it might be one of those things where you meet someone and it starts out as kind of like a business connection, because I am seeing like Three Pentacle energies here. So it could start out as a money or a business connection. You guys might just be in that time of your life too, when you're making money and business connections. You might be in that time of your life where you're like focused on your career right now, something like that. Yeah, the cards are asking you with the Three of Pentacles here to be flexible with how you're going to interact with this person, because even though it's just around the corner, you could meet someone that you're very attractive to, but the only way you have to engage with them in this group or something like that is in a business sense, right? And that's okay. I think romance can come at various different times, right? Just because you're meeting your future spouse just around the corner doesn't mean the feelings develop immediately, right? It doesn't have to always be that way in relationships, right? You could be in a situation where you can't express those feelings right off the bat, right? It might be a very business-like situation. Maybe in church, there's certain rules, or in your church, there's certain rules about not expressing affection in certain ways at certain times, and there's a way to the courting process. There's rules to be followed, is kind of what I'm seeing. So with Two of Swords also can indicate more of like a stalemate, right? Like a block in your path. So I am seeing, in essence, like you might meet this person, you might be really attracted to them, but there might not be any way for you both to express feelings for each other. Maybe there's a lot of knowing looks, maybe there's a lot of like understanding on that level, maybe it's like brought up in a brief moment, like I would love to date you, I would love to be with you, but I know that like in this group that we're a part of, you know, I know that I have to like be careful or whatever because of this environment or something like that. Maybe that's why when you guys get to the amusement park, that's where it all starts to turn to fun. That's where it turns to fun. That's where the romance can blossom. You guys might need, as a couple, you might need certain environments to get you in the mood, right? You might be very affected by your actual environment, right? So for example, I'm this way actually, oftentimes. sometimes a certain type of environment or environment that's created, you know, like if you light candles in your house, you're feeling more romantic, right? That's a perfect way of explaining like an environment that creates a mood, right? So it might be that when you get to this amusement park, it creates a different kind of mood. It might be that in this specific spiritual community, it's very serious, right? Or there's a seriousness to it that when you finally get to the amusement park, it's like, okay, now we can have fun. Now we can let loose. Now the feelings can flourish is kind of what I'm seeing. So with the Pentacles energy, I do see more of a business connection right off the bat with your future spouse. And that's totally fine. Honestly, like, you know, I think you guys are just going to have feelings for this person. I think you're going to maintain some distance with the Nine of Pentacles here. And at the same time, you're ready for what the universe throws at you. You're like, okay, universe, whatever you've got, give it to me. You know, and I see this sense of openness to what is going to come your way. What the universe wants to send your way is really what's going to bridge the gap between you and your dreams and what's coming around the corner, right? It says just around the corner. I really think you're going to meet this person pretty soon. You know, and this is also very vague. Some of the cards are very specific, like they'll say December, or they'll say in a few months, something like that. This is kind of vague. So whatever just around the corner means to you, and the vibe that I'm getting too is it's like with this Two of Swords nudging you to join this spiritual community, it could be that it's just one of those things that as soon as you join a spiritual community in your lifetime, right, that's when just around the corner, this person's going to be there, you know? Like I said, I think I mentioned this earlier, but you could meet this person at a wedding too. Like there could be a wedding coming up and you could actually meet someone at a wedding. That's also a possibility for you guys. Yeah, I think I'm going to end your guys' reading there. Thank you again so much for letting me read for you. It was an honor, it was a pleasure. Thank you for letting me explore my new decks today. I got these all for my birthday, so it was really cool. And if you guys like this reading, please like or comment below. If you really enjoyed the reading, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. And with that said, I hope you really enjoyed the reading. I really enjoyed giving you guys this reading. Just around the corner is really hopeful news for when you're going to meet them. So yeah, hopefully I will catch you guys on a future Pick a Card on my channel, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hey group 6, where and when you will meet your future spouse. So this is you chose the Rose Quartz. Let's get into your reading. I'm like tripping over my words in this reading, and I feel like I had a sip of water between groups, and I'm feeling a little loopy coming into your reading. So let's see. When will you meet your future spouse? I promise you guys I will get reoriented. When will you meet your future spouse? When will group 6 meet their future spouse? Oh, this one doesn't want to go back in. We have March. Pink is a theme. Let's pull one more card. I feel like I want to pull one more card for you guys for timing just to see. Because March could be any March, right? It doesn't necessarily mean next March. It just means any March. What is another timing card I can get for them to be a little more clear on when they're meeting them? One more card. Oh, January. Okay, so they really want to keep the month in focus here. Gonna put January under March. January is just coming through as another month. There's not a feeling of wanting you to know what March it's gonna be, but I really think that you guys could have a really meet this person in March, and then with January being right underneath, you could start to develop more of the ideas of marriage in January, something like that. Okay, let's get your place. What location will group 6 meet their future spouse? Restaurant. Okay, you're probably gonna meet them at a restaurant. And then let's get tarot cards. Okay, we have a 6 of Cups and we have the Empress. Let's get some more cards here. I'm seeing flowers in these 6 of Cups. It's making me think of springtime. Let's get some more cards here. We have Justice and the Hermit. That's so funny. Okay, sorry, I saw something that was kind of funny. I'll explain it to you guys in a second. We also have 2 of Cups. Aw, okay. I want to get one more card for you guys. I feel like we need one more card. What's one more card I can get? This one flipped up. We have the Sun. Okay. Probably do this. I don't want to be like extra careful with your cards. Okay, so I'm getting like a really specific scenario and it's really coming into my head strongly, and it's like all the pieces are fitting with this one specific scenario. I really want to read this specific scenario first for you guys because I feel it's the most important one to read for. It might not be the one that applies to everyone, but I do want to read the specific scenario just in case someone's watching in this scenario, because I'm seeing it really clearly in my mind, almost like lots of images coming through about this. Okay, so first let's get into I want to get into the specific scenario. I'll just lay out the specific scenario kind of briefly, and then I will build upon it if I need to. So I'm seeing a situation where I'm seeing someone who is a single mom, single mother, and they have children. And there's something about your child's friend that is like another child at school, something like that. And their dad is a single dad, something like that. And I'm seeing that there's some kind of situation at a restaurant where you guys decide to meet at a restaurant to discuss something that's legal or something like that. So for example, or it could be that you even meet at a restaurant or something. Like there could be a feeling of you with the Hermit card here being alone. There could be a feeling of, even as a single mom, you're working on some project at a restaurant, something that is like dealing with forms or paperwork or something like that. Government, could be government forms, could just be any kind of forms or legal documents, something like that, some kind of forms or something. And you run into this, this other kid's single dad. And you're talking about the forms that you're working on and stuff like that, and then go, oh my gosh, I actually studied this in college, or I actually did this, or I do this for my career. And you're like, oh really? Wow, what does this mean? And you're like, sorry to be so forward, but like I'm really having an issue with this part of the form, and I don't know how to figure out this part of the form. And they're like, oh, let me look at that. And they look at it and they're like, oh, you just need to do this and this and this. They ask you some questions, some casual questions, nothing too stressful. And it's like, wow, all of a sudden you guys are in this working partnership where you're actually working over these tax forms or these forms or whatever the forms are, paperwork together. And I'm seeing like a restaurant more like a little cafe or something like that, where it's a little more casual and stuff like that. Or they walk into the cafe when you're working on the forms, they say hi, you tell them what you're working on, and they're like, oh, let me help you with that. I've actually done stuff with that. Now, that's the specific example I'm feeling. And in this particular reading, I'm expanding it out to include more general examples. So it applies for all of you guys and what you're going through. But for that specific example, if you came to this reading and you are a single mom and you struggle with paperwork, or you struggle with forms, or you feel like you have to do a lot on your own, there's a feeling with the responsibilities here that it's like something about you being a single parent, you're dealing with a lot of responsibilities as far as like you being a single parent. And the thing that I'm seeing is like this person is at a restaurant and you run into them and they actually end up helping you with a lot of these tedious kind of paperwork type things. Anyway, that's the situation I'm seeing right off the bat. So let me look over the cards a little bit more and I will get into the general reading of this. Yeah, for most of you, there's a situation, there's children are involved. We have the Sun card and the Six of Cups, both cards indicating children. There are children involved in this situation with your future spouse. I think that either your two kids are playmates at school, or there's something about when you guys get along in the future, or you meet this person in the future, both of your kids get along. Like there's a feeling of like your children getting along with each other, something like that. With the Empress card here, I am feeling that I'm getting a strong vibe of a lot of you watching the Pick This Pile are like single parents, single moms, something like that. For others of you, I definitely think that if you're not a single parent and you pick this pile, there's a feeling of like having a big family with your spouse, or like creating a lot of kids, or even adopting kids, right? Because I am seeing these kids of like these two black kids and these white kids. And I'm thinking of the different races. I'm thinking of adoption. I'm thinking of like variety as far as like what the looks of are your children. It might even be that if you are a single parent and you have more kids with this person, the kids look different than your previous kids, something like that. So there's a look, looking like a visual thing with the children, like how they look different. With Justice here, I am seeing there's a rebalancing of things, and I do see that even if it's not paperwork or form that this person's helping you with, they're going to help you with some kind of a problem, right? You're going to feel with the Hermit card, very independent at this point of your life. You're going to be at this restaurant. You're going to feel very independent. You're going to feel like being alone. You're going to feel like working on your own thing. You're going to feel like no one else can help you. You're going to feel like at this point in your life, I'm getting a strong vibe of feeling alone with the Hermit card here. Feeling alone and feeling wise and feeling like you're never going to meet anyone. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. Feeling like it's all over, like you're never going to meet anyone. You're just alone. You're doing this thing on your own. You've resignated to the fact that you are a single parent at this moment in time, and that things are just going to be a struggle. Certain things are going to be a struggle. Certain paperworks and forms are just going to be tough to do. You know, certain things with your job are just going to be tough to do. Certain things with your life are just going to be tough to do, but you're going to buckle up and do it anyway because that's your fate, and you have kids and you got to provide for them. You know, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, like real talk. Like there's a strong vibe of like real talk. I got to like get down to business. I got to be responsible. And that's kind of what's coming through here is responsibility. Honestly, with the Justice card, there's a feeling of responsibility and responsibility to your children or responsibility to your life. For those of you who aren't single parents or single mom, you're going to be at a restaurant and you're just going to feel like being alone in general. I think that if you're not single parents and you're just someone coming to this reading, you're feeling very independent at the time you meet this person, to the point where you're thinking like, man, I just got to do everything myself. Right? Like there's no one that's going to help me. I've had partners in the past and they didn't help me. You know, they didn't help me with the activities that I need. They didn't help divide duties equally in this connection. You know, I think you guys have been people that maybe, in some cases had to take care of people, had to take care of previous partners, where maybe you're the ones who actually need some of the caretaking. Maybe you're the ones who need someone to help you out every once in a while, right? But maybe it's just that the responsibilities have always fallen on your shoulders, you know, and you've always had to be the responsible one, but maybe you do struggle with it and people don't see that. So I feel for you guys. I mean, that's a tough situation to be in. But I do feel for you, and I want to commend you, you know, like round of applause to you, you know, like being a single parent isn't easy, or going at it alone isn't easy. Knowing that you're the only one that can take care of yourself in any given situation isn't easy. But I'm telling you, when you meet this person, help is coming in. With the Two of Cups here, there's a strong vibe of like romantic soulmate attraction, right? And it's all through these practical responsibilities. With the Justice card, it's all through some kind of form or document or something like that. It's all through... There's a rebalancing of the scales, right? There's been a long time in your life that you've been doing a lot for other people is what I'm seeing. And in this particular situation, this person's helping you out and it's no sweat off their back, right? They're just like, yeah, so no problem, no easy, no problem. And you're thinking like, yeah, what's the catch, right? Like there's kind of a vibe there of like, yeah, but what do you need help with? That's, you know, that I'm kind of seeing that. For others of you who are not, who are single parents, I see that it's going to feel a lot more natural to receive this help. I think those of you who are single parents are struggling a bit more than those of you who are just single and going at it alone without kids. I think those of you that are single parents are really learning that this help that's coming in, it's almost like a long time coming. And when it finally comes in, it's like a breath of fresh air. That's where the immediate recognition of the soulmate connection comes in. I also think that after you figure out the problem, or after this person helps you figure out the problem, it's like you have all this work you have to do, right? It's kind of what I'm seeing at this restaurant. You're sitting there alone eating and you're working on this project, you're working on this thing. And you know, you feel it's going to take you, like, you know how long these things are going to take you. It's going to take you like an hour or 2 hours to finish all this work, right? You meet this person, this other single dad, right? And he just goes through it in seconds, right? It's like all of a sudden this stuff is done in like 30 minutes. And after it's done, you're like, wow, I have a lot of free time on my hands. Like I plan to sit here and like chill at this restaurant and like work on this project. I have a lot more free time. Like, do you want to hang out or chat? Do you want to get coffee? Do you want to talk? Do you want to get drink? Do you want to order another drink? Something like that. And with the Sun card, this is where the happiness truly comes in. This is where discovering your own innocence with each other comes in. And this is where it gets really, really cool. This is where the relationship gets really, really cool. I do see that the vibe that I'm getting here is that you guys explore each other so much, and it's like there's like a returning to innocence, right? Returning to childhood with you both as adults, right? And I think the responsibilities are going to feel less like stressors at this point in time when you meet this person. They're going to feel less like stressors and more just like easy things that you can just with the flick of your wrist get done in a heartbeat, right? There's other things too that I think this single dad has struggles with, and you help him with those things, and it just everything just feels really easy. There's a feeling of compatibility, there's a feeling of ease, there's a feeling of connection. I think your guys' kids get along. Besides typical fights that like kids have, I think for the most part the kids get along, right? But yeah, there's a really sense of ease, of unloading each other's burdens, of mutual exchange. I think it transforms really quickly from Hermit to Two of Cups mode. It's really quick, this transformation. Hermit to Two of Cups. And yeah, there's just a strong vibe of returning to innocence. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. This innocence actually that you guys return to, that you create within yourselves, it actually gets translated if you're single parents onto your kids, and it creates, you guys become more fun parents is kind of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing you guys having more fun with your kids. I'm seeing you taking them out more places. The thing is, dealing with these forms and these practical realities in life, when your partner's there, it's like two people, it's like, how do I put it? Like, you have your energy as one person, right? They have their energy as another person, right? Combined, you think you would just have like the same amount of energy, right? But it actually quadruples it, right? It's like 1 + 1 actually equals not 2, but 4. So really there's like 4 components of extra energy that you get to have for your life and your relationship. So that leaves a lot left over for your kids, right? And I think you're going to have a lot of fun taking your kids to like parks and playgrounds or wherever you take your kids, whatever your kids want to do, whatever your activities you're involved with your kids. I don't know what they are, but I think you're going to have a lot of room to take those kids out and do those types of things, which is really, really cool. Empress card just talks about love in general and Venusian qualities and perfect man, perfect woman. It also talks about fertility, and next to the 6 of Cups, it can indicate that you guys will actually have a very fertile relationship. You might actually want to have a few more kids with each other besides just your kids that you had from your previous marriages, something like that. And for some of you, don't worry, it might be one of those things where you have children and you're a single mom, but this guy that you meet actually doesn't have kids, right? Or something like that. It could be asymmetrical like that, where one of you has kids and one of you doesn't. I am saying for most part, you guys are most likely the single moms. And if you are single, it's most likely the guy is also, if you don't have kids, it's most likely the guy also doesn't have kids. So keep that in mind. With March, I really think you guys are meeting in March. I think January is where the relationship could solidify, or where you decide to tie the knot, something like that. I'm leaving March and January both here. So for I'm going to let you guys take what resonates, and this might be a fun like little thing. So it keeps you guessing and you don't know when this person's coming in. But with March and January, I'm seeing like you could meet them in January or March, right? But confirmation, air turns off. Perfect. So for some of you could meet them in January, some of you can meet them in March. You're most definitely meeting them at a restaurant or somewhere where you're working on something, with the Justice card here, where you're working on some kind of task or something, and while you're eating, you're just eating alone and you're working on something, and then you run into someone and you realize that they're the person because they're like helping you, right? So you might actually know them before the restaurant, honestly, because I'm seeing if you both have kids that go to the same school or something like that, and you're both single parents, running into them at the restaurant, it's like, oh, hey, how's it going? Like, and that's where you guys kind of click and they help you with your project, something like that. Remember, the project doesn't necessarily have to be something super boring. It's just something that's very like forms, structure, systems, laws, something like that. Doesn't have to be necessarily like, it's just something you're struggling with. It's some work that you're struggling with is kind of what I'm seeing. Okay, so I'm going to end your guys' reading there. Thank you again for letting me read for you today. It was an honor and it was a pleasure. My throat's getting a little, parched, because I've been talking too much. So anyway, if you guys like the reading, please like or comment below. If you really enjoyed the reading and you resonate with my energy, feel free to subscribe to the channel. We're always welcoming new subscribers here at Cody Tarot. And with that said, I'm going to end the reading there, and I will catch you guys later. You guys have a beautiful relationship on your hands. This is something that's definitely a soulmate connection for sure. Definitely a breath of fresh air from what you've been struggling with is kind of what I'm seeing. So I'm excited for you guys to receive this relationship. And until then, be the tough people you are. You know, you're doing it and you're putting in the effort, and you know, that if that's what's needed right now, that's what's needed right now, you know? So I commend you for that, you know? Like, it's not easy to be a single parent. You guys are the superheroes of this world. So congratulations. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next pick a card. Bye.